By the way, what is the best bang for the buck?
Best bang for the buck. Great question. I hear this all the time. Kitchens are probably number one. And then the primary bath is probably second. Actually, even the front entry is important for preparing your house for market.
And adding additional square footage in the basement, finished square footage, couple rooms, it's going to strengthen the list price.
Absolutely.
So Noel mentioned decor earlier. How do sellers make design choices?
One option is actually to ask your realtor. We see so many homes. I was figuring out the other day that I think I've been in over 30,000 homes, and many of them are new construction homes. So we see the trends of the day. So that can be very helpful. Another option is actually quite obvious, but you can hire an interior designer. I work with an HGTV designer, and she'll sometimes come into my listings and we'll talk about, colors and staging opportunities and things like that. But that can be very helpful, of course. Even just looking up paint manufacturers' top 10 colors of the year can be very helpful. So there's magazines, there's many options. The internet has endless options. One of my favorite tips is to stand at the front door of your home and walk through every room with a notebook, taking notes, and just looking through your home as though you are a discriminating buyer. I actually lived in one of my homes for 20 years, and I did this. Even as a realtor, I needed to do this, and it was extremely beneficial. I saw little things that I don't normally see. So that is something that I would highly recommend.
Okay, so let's verbally walk through a home right now, and maybe you can give us some ideas.
Sure.
We hear a lot about curb appeal. And are there any ideas for how we can increase our curb appeal so people can't wait to get inside?
Actually, the front door is key. You might even choose to purchase a designer door. I like some of those doors that have like 2/3 glass. It feels like so welcoming, like, come on in, I love that. And so as far as colors go, the house is currently white, and so we'll probably paint the door aqua, something like that.
But you're going to leave the house white.
We're going to leave the house white, yes.
Nice contrast.
Yes, exactly. Another idea, as far as the front porch goes, or the front area, is to bring in some beautiful geraniums, maybe even that deep red color or the deep pink color. And actually, the most important thing is to look at the color of the house and the door and then coordinate the flowers, of course.
Yeah, and if you have a porch, have a porch swing or a couple chairs and a little end table, really classes it up front. The other thing is you've got all these flower beds and things in many houses, either adding those flower beds or maintaining them, putting just a little bit of extra fresh mulch really cleans it up, and trimming the bushes down and getting the leaves out of the bushes, just making it look real clean, nice, tidy, and fresh.
Yeah, I even like sculpting the trees and the bushes. I think it just has such a clean, classy look.
Okay. How about the foyer, the living room, the formal dining room?
Well, I think the first thing to do when you're looking at the foyer is to look at the floor. Does it need to be updated? Or is it hardwood that you could actually stain to a current color and then make sure that that color goes throughout the whole home? And then I like to look up at the lighting. Lighting is very important. Do you remember?
I do remember our parents built new homes every 7 years, partially because our grandfather and our uncle were both builders.
Right.
But our mom always said, never skimp on the lighting. Very important.
Very important. Outside, so the exterior as well as interior. Substantial lighting actually elevates the home.
And a fresh coat of paint can go a long way too.
Oh, absolutely. One of the clients who purchased one of my listings came in and the property hadn't been updated for a long, long time. They came in, and I'm not kidding, all they did was stain the hardwood floors to a darker color, painted the woodwork, and painted all the walls, even the fireplace, brick. I mean, it was interesting. And then they brought in beautiful furnishings. And that house was totally transformed. They turned around and they sold it. and they made a really nice profit.
You know, even doorknobs, believe it or not. I mean, just doorknobs, they can be a real statement, especially against a white door. But just, I know a guy who replaced all of his doorknobs. It's about $1,000, but he said it just really elevated all the spaces.
You know, I have an idea that seems so simple and kind of trite, but it actually, I think, adds to the ambiance. Just going out in the woods, cutting down maybe an already cut birch tree. Don't cut it down. But if it's already cut,
Couldn't you just buy them as well at Home Goods?
not at Home Goods, but I'm sure you can buy them somewhere. But actually, it looks so cool when you put them in the fireplace. And then at the same time, you can just paint over that brass bar that you see on fireplaces with a black heat-resistant paint. And it just updates the fireplace.
These are great ideas, and I'm sure you have many more, but how about a few for the kitchen?
You need to figure out what features really matter to you. So, do you want a big island that everyone can sit around, which is a great feature? We love that about our current house. Do you want soft closed doors? You can add those, or in your new cabinets. Having a lot of outlets, or outlets in certain places where you might put your appliances, your coffee maker, etc. And then you can even paint the cabinets, which is an easier, less expensive kind of fix.
How about bedrooms, baths, closets?
Well, I think it's important to really declutter and deep clean every corner. So I think that's really important. And in the closets, removing the out of season clothes and moving them into someone else's closet for a while, I think is a good option, right? So just to make it seem more spacious, even they say 1 inch between each shirt is kind of the little rule of thumb on that.
How about the garage?
Well, you got to have epoxy floors. It's all the rage right now with some of my neighbors anyway. No, it just looks classy. It's nice. It's easy to clean up, and it's a quick application that they can do for you. The other thing is shelving, either open shelving, which is fine, easy, quick, or having some nice workbenches with pull-out deep shelves at soft close. A lot of really nice options at any hardware store these days for garage shelving and drawers and all of that.
What about lifestyle rooms, such as the theater, office, exercise room?
Well, I have an idea for the theater. I think when you're showing your home, it would be a cool idea to put on a movie that has amazing scenery.
And what about personal photos? We hear that we possibly should not have our personal photos up. What do you think?
Well, even models have photos of models. But to that point, I really do think it's important to make sure that the buyers can visualize themselves in your home. You know, they don't want to visualize you in your home, so depersonalize.
When you said even models have pictures of models, did you mean model homes have pictures of models in them? Or models like Christy Brinkley has pictures of Christy Brinkley?
I think Christy Brinkley has pictures of herself in her own home.
Interesting.
Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you have found this to be very beneficial for you. And thank you, John, and thank you, Noah. I really appreciate it.
You've received a lot of valuable information today. We hope that it helps when you're ready to prepare your home for the market. Thank you for joining us. And when you're ready to make your next move, don't forget to check out julietronis.com. We welcome you back here when this remodel is complete. Until then, thanks for joining us.